some stuff in the background, but that stuff in the background is going to be the stream. All day I thought it was Thursday, man. Literally all day.
All day today you thought it was Thursday?
Yeah, like last
crazy, yeah.
No, because I was just all week, like Monday, Tuesday, no problem. And then Wednesday this week, kind of like it felt so long. Like Wednesday felt so long.
Yeah.
That when I went to sleep and woke up, I just assumed it was also Wednesday. So I was like, yesterday was Wednesday. It has to be Thursday. It was like 6:45. I got home. I'd had so for lunch I got a giant. I don't know if you know this about Chipotle, right? Mm-hmm. The only thing they charge you extra for is meat and guacamole.
Well, I was gonna say I feel like they charge you for guac, but okay, go ahead.
That's the only two things.
You got it. Yeah.
So I go like burrito bowl, and they're like, "What kind of rice?" I'm like, "Both." They're like, "What kind of beans?" I'm like, "Both."
Okay.
I don't. Right. Well, the cilantro lime rice is like bland, and the brown rice is. It's. So I was like, both.
No, the brown rice is a little dry.
Yeah,
but that's kind of like the nature of also brown rice.
Yeah, brown rice is just shit. Yeah. So like, and it's
and literally
what they really need is that yellow rice, because they hit that yellow rice, and I'm like, ooh,
that yellow rice.
Yeah, that yellow rice. So I'm like, cool. They're like, what kind of beans? I'm like, both. They're like, okay, what kind of meat? Today I was like, chicken. The cheapest thing they got, chicken. They're like, oh, I'm like, can I have veggies too? They're like, yeah, sure. Can I have 2 scoops of veggies? Yeah, no problem. Because the veggies are not extra.
Yeah.
They're just like, yeah, sure. Fuck ton of veggies, a little chicken. They're like, what kind of salsa? I'm like, whatever. Put whatever you want on. Yeah. It doesn't matter. Okay, cool. Do you want? I'm like, everything. Everything else. Whatever else is here, put on. So the burrito bowl, and then I'm like, oh, and can I have a tortilla? They're like, yeah, sure, no problem.
Okay, got you. Okay.
So now I have this massively overfilled Chipotle bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And a tortilla. A massive, the big ass tortilla.
Yeah.
And I got there and they're like, 9:45. I was like, okay, boop, boop. Typed my card. Fucked off. Ate about half that bowl for lunch because it was a metric fuck ton of food.
About right. I'm surprised you ate half, but okay.
Yeah, well, I'm saying about half. It was closer to a third than half.
Yeah.
Then I took the rest, put it in the bag, put the burrito, the wrapped thing on top, fucked off. At 5 o'clock, I was like, okay, open the thing, lay the burrito flat, dump, form burrito. This is 6:30, and I was like, I wonder what I'm gonna do for dinner tomorrow. Because I can't, because I have to be home early so we can do the stream. And that's when I checked my phone, and it was like, it's Friday. I'm like, the fuck it is.
Yes, indeed.
How long has it been Friday without telling me? I'm terrified that I actually did sleep through Thursday. Are you
not recalling Thursday right now as you properly?
I don't know if I'm not recalling Wednesday or Thursday.
Got you. Okay.
So I because I remember Monday and Tuesday vividly, but Wednesday and Thursday run in as one day, and I was like a little under the weather. I didn't know what it was. I was like, shit, do I have COVID? No, I don't. What do I have?
Okay.
Why do I feel so under the weather? And then I woke up and it was like nothing. So the only other thing I think it could have happened is Wednesday night I was like, I'm not feeling too well. I went to sleep, and then I slept for fucking 36 hours. And then,
I don't think that's what happened, but it may feel that way.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I just zombied my entire way through Thursday. I just went through. I don't remember anything about either Wednesday or Thursday. I don't know, because at this point I don't know. It could have been anything. And
fair.
It's a slow news week, right? like
It's like
all
one or
of the
two,
important
three.
shit hit on Saturday and Sunday of last week.
Yeah.
And then you know, there's no TV shows on right now. I watch a couple of weird things, but like none in our like Disney bullshit stuff. There's like the DC has a new Kite Man animated show that I've been loving, but they're doing weekly releases, and I'm not built for weekly releases on random casual shit. Like I'm just not. The only things I do casual releases for are, like I said, Dropout. It's the best subscription because it's a comedy series.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's all comedy. So like, if I miss something, I'm like, oh, I'll just watch it tomorrow. But they have really good, funny shit that I will watch the second it comes out. Also, there's a lot of people. So, you know, parasocial relationships, right?
Yeah.
You also know from both of us knowing each other for as long as we have and kind of being in the same and similar industries, like especially with YouTube and Twitch and everything like that, that like that check mark next to your name means something.
Yeah.
It not on Twitter, or you know, not in the.
I thought
not on Twitter.
Figured we weren't talking about that. Yeah.
No, on like YouTube, on Twitch, that like verified status, even on Instagram, that verified status of like you are who you say you are, it means something.
Right.
It doesn't mean something to everybody, but it means something to people who have it and who want it.
Fair.
The average Twitch chat couldn't care less.
Yeah.
So like
usually
so there are some people in that group, in that like Dropout, like they're human beings. That's the one thing people never understood about, and I've learned it the hard way through like just exposure therapy. Every single person that is famous in any conceivable way is still just a fucking person. Like they're still just a human being. They're not special. There are like hyper elites, like Brad Pitt, right? Ryan Reynolds now, Taylor Swift. I'm thinking of like some football players, some basketball players. You know, Elon Musk. You know, there are hyper elite people. Kevin Feige, you know, like while we're Bob Iger, like people who like you're not gonna get in touch with them. You just, and if you would, who the fuck cares? But on Twitch, so there's a couple of people on from Dropout that stream. And I have shown up in both of their streams because they were playing Magic the Gathering, a game that is near and dear to my heart. And I was like, I got you. And they looked and they saw the check mark and they're like, what should I do? And I was like, oh, okay, do this. And then they would wait in chat to see my response on what they should do next as they were winning their games. And I was like, dude, just DM me. Just hit me up in Discord. I'm in Dropout Discord. And they're like, oh, okay, cool.
Oh,
so there are two very...
So now you're a celebrity.
Well, I'm not a celebrity. No. But
to them, you are.
I am now communicating with people who get paid for a living to be on TV. Like, you know, to do that.
Yeah.
And that's literally 99.9% of how I interact with humanity. Like you saw just a second ago what I did on LinkedIn. Like,
yeah.
I just go like, okay, right now, I don't have a relationship with so-and-so. If I do absolutely nothing, I will continue to not have a relationship with so and so. But if I reach out, it's the same thing like with dating apps and stuff. Everyone's like, well, what's your line on a dating app? How do you do that? And I'm like, my line, I'm 6'3", man.
I am 6'3".
My line is, did we swipe right? Do we match? Yeah, click, sup, every time. And then sometimes people hit me with like, that was your best. I'm like, you haven't earned my best. That was just how I said hello to a random person.
Sure.
My best? My best on Hinge? My best on Grindr? You're lucky you got anything but an emote. You're lucky you didn't just get a top emoji. Like, you know what I mean?
This single life war that you speak of, I have no idea what it is. But by the way, next week, I should say, is going to be 10 years. I have no idea what you're talking about anymore.
10 years.
10 years. And we would have been together for 15. So just keep that in perspective. I'm long far out of the game. Right? So this language, this thing that you're speaking of, it's foreign to me.
There's a comedian, I don't remember who it was, but they had said
goofy loyal, yeah, fair.
They had said relationships are like a time machine.
Oh man, okay.
That travel at normal time. But when you get out of one, you immediately revert to everything you knew before you got in. And I was like, that is so fucking true. Cause I'm like, cause I've had a couple of I don't consider a relationship unless it's at least like 6 months. Otherwise it's just, bullshit.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
So I've had a couple of relationships that have lasted a couple years. And that month after, 2 month after the relationship ends, where I'm just like, I forgot how to be single. I forgot how to wake up and not be next to somebody or send somebody a message, or you know what I mean? Like tiny little things, right? You weren't, but again, I'm like, all right, back to the dating game. Wait, everything changed over the last 3 years? What? You mean I can't just have a picture of me eating Cheerios out of a dog bowl on my Hinge anymore? That worked so well 3 years ago. Fine. It'll be Kashi Goin now. Are we happy? You know, like...
Yeah.
Oh, I don't own this dog bowl? I have to buy a dog bowl? Tony, what are you doing? Stop.
Listen, like I said, I have no idea what this thing is that you guys speak of. I'm so far out of the game that I have no idea anymore. And it's funny enough, me and my wife talk about some of this stuff. Not necessarily like, oh, what it would be like to be single again, but just more of like, man, listen, I'm good.
You got a good relationship.
We're good.
Right? And I don't mean a perfect relationship. I mean you have a good relationship. Like there's ups, there's downs, but you love each other and you work your way through things. That's a good relationship. Yeah. I remember I have a friend. Me and her have been very good friends for a very long time. Mm-hmm. And one thing we love to do, every couple months, we'll catch up and we'll have a conversation of the horrible people we've interacted with in like the dating world. And it's kind of like, I got you. And she always beats me. Like she always gets worse. Like she's always like, yeah, but you don't know the dude I just fucked. And I was like, no, go on.
Sure.
And then she'll begin to just describe in horrendous. Like I'm like, why did you keep with him? She's like, it was easier than not. And I was like,
oh my gosh,
I get that. No. Like that speaks to me.
No, it doesn't. It sounds like torture, bro. That's what it sounds like to me. But then again, maybe I'm talking from a place of privilege. So let me.
Yeah, but it's a good privilege. Like you you're lucky, man. Like you're one of the lucky few, because some people, especially now, people today, like I mean, like everyone kind of exaggerates everything. Mm-hmm. Like OnlyFans, like, oh dude, girls make so much money on OnlyFans. Like girls in like 10, 15.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And like, you know, they like, yeah, but like one of my friends is on OnlyFans and she does well, but she is constantly overselling publicly how much money she's making. And I know that because she just moved back in with my friend, with my a mutual friend of ours, because she couldn't afford rent anymore.
That's rough, man. That's rough.
So how much is she making? $50K a year.
Oh. Yikes. I mean, $50K a year is nothing to scoff at, to be fair.
Yeah,
you know,
but like
some people,
but like you would think from like Instagram and shit, like, you know, it's real easy to get those AI filters, like you're in Beirut.
I mean, it's not all. What do they say, right? The grass isn't always greener. So yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, no, like it's there's the stripper index, which is a real economic thing. I don't know if you know this.
I don't.
Here in Detroit, 50K will buy you 3 houses. Yeah. The only thing I question there is your use of the word houses. Everything else I believe.
Maybe
no, but like,
there was an exaggeration to emphasize a point, but we
houses
understand.
Or like umbrellas with walls. Like, what do we? No, it's true, and it's very true. Like I've always said, like if I could get paid what my job title is, but live in Montana, right? If I could do that, I would be like, well, I'd be like, Goofy, you and your kids are gonna spend a month at my compound, not ranch, compound, like compound.
It's quite the place there.
Yeah, like no. Like why is it gated, Tony? There are no anything in any direction around you. I'm like, the gate is to keep out the coyotes. Like, you know, like and to keep in the cool coyotes. If they can figure a way in, they're part of the herd. Like
they're here.
No, money is such a weird thing, but like I live in Jersey, you live in Boston. You know what I mean? Yep. Like,
yeah, one of the most, preferably expensive.
And I don't live in like New Jersey, the state. I live in New Jersey, the suburb of New York City. So like it's I've always said like it's actually faster for me to get into New York than it is for me to get out of my county. Like to travel to another county is more difficult for me than to cross the George Washington Bridge or the Lincoln Tunnel, depending on the day. Like, so like, and that's a huge part of like Bergen County, New Jersey, which is right there, like on the cusp. And that's where most people who work in New York, there's like that weird line, like there are people who work in New York, make a lot of money, live in New York. There are people who work in New York, make a lot of money, want a backyard. That's the only difference. Like that's they want a backyard. And some of the houses that are around me, my house is whatever, the houses around me, I'm like, this dude's got a gate that like you have to buzz in.
Yeah.
Like 2 blocks, 3 blocks down the road. I'm like, I'm watching Uber drivers like drop food off to this dude. I'm like, bro, you got a gate. You got a gate and Uber drivers are coming here.
Listen.
Not to pick you up for a trip, to drop off Chipotle. Like, what are we doing?
I knew it was Uber Eats. That's what you talking about.
Yeah. Door dashing. Yeah, come on, man. What are you doing? Uber is for Uber Eats. DoorDash is for apartment complexes. And like,
hey, listen,
and like mother daughters, you know, like not for guys with gates and fucking mansions.
I forgot. Like, I think when I had when my wife was not pregnant, when she had just delivered the last baby that we had, I remember using Uber Eats, and I was like, I don't know how people do this for reasons. It said non-contact delivery.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he wanted me to come outside to confirm the delivery. I was like, yo, I'm not doing this again, bro. I'm not
Jay's like, I used to deliver
this.
pizza to $5 million houses. Dude, I'm not saying pizza or Chinese food. I mean, like, bro, I've seen Wendy's bags. I'm like,
listen, no judgment, okay? I'm
not judging, but I'm like, so like, okay, let me kind of rewind a little bit, because there's like a weird arrogance to people on DoorDash and Uber Eats. Not the drivers. I have no problem with anyone who drives for that shit. That's your job, man. Power to you. Like, I ain't above it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But like, from the perspective of like the buyer, I was reading an article and someone's like, it's called DoorDash, not Lobby Dash, and I was like,
oh,
do you know what the technology of Uber Eats has done? The technology of Uber Eats has saved you roughly $50,000 a year. Because in the past, in order to have somebody go pick up food for you and bring it to you, they were called a PA. And that was a salaried job that people like.
Yeah.
You like I worked for a company where the president and CEO of the company had a secretary and a PA, and the secretary handled all of the work related stuff, and the PA handled all of her life related stuff. And the PA did not have a job. The PA was sitting in that office, but that wasn't her job. Her job was what she did. Like, she's the one who called her Uber. She's the one who made sure she had the reservations. Like, the secretary just handled the work calls and everything like that. And the PA did everything for that person. And because of the power she had, that person had a $75,000 a year job, like in New York, plus the perks of, working for a multi-hundred millionaire. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, people today are ordering like biggie bags. Okay. $5 biggie bags, paying $20 and tipping for them and tipping $2. Like that's insanity. Like, oh, I live on a 7th floor walk up in like the other side of the place from the stairs. I expect my food to be delivered directly to my door. It's like, or else what? You're lucky someone even does. You're lucky that, dude, if I'm driving Uber and I'm seeing a message and it's like, oh, floor 7, no elevator. I'm like, no food, bitch. You're lucky I don't just be like, what's the punishment? I don't even know. What's the punishment on Uber?
You get a bad rating.
If I want to find out. I might do it. I'm going to find out. I'm gonna do it for like a weekend or something, and like I'm gonna be like, okay, well, not like fuck up. I just want to learn, because I want to know, like, if I pick up your food, like, and again, not like real food, not like if you ordered from like a local Italian restaurant or a sushi place that isn't like, like a real restaurant, and you were like, oh, I ordered like if you ordered Chipotle delivery or McDonald's delivery, and you just didn't get your food. Because I've never had that problem with Uber. I've never ordered DoorDash, Uber, Postmates, whatever. I've never ordered food and it not be delivered. I've been missing stuff. And I'm just like, yo, this wasn't in the thing. And they're like, oh, okay, we'll just credit you the money for it. I'm like, okay, bye. Like, yeah. But I've never, like, walked outside and was like, hey, my food isn't here. What the fuck? So yeah. I'm like, from that perspective, I'm like, yo, if someone's like, we delivered your food and I didn't get my food, what would I do? Because like I've had like you know, my friends have been like, yeah, just tell them in heaven, they just order it again. I'm like,
Okay.
but you know, like what is that? They just place the second order or something, and I'm like, what? But how? This has got to be losing somewhat. Someone's got to be losing money on this because like
Somebody, yeah, usually.
I can't imagine Uber drivers. Because then it's the other way around too. Like if an Uber driver drops off your food, and then someone steals it, or they lie about it, like it was never delivered. Like what?
Yes,
I know they take pictures and shit, you know, but like I
Mm-hmm.
can take a picture, send you a picture, and then not leave the food. Like ha ha ha, you know, someone took it. I guess.
Yeah.
Sometimes like for big orders, if I place an order from this like catering place that does Uber for some reason,
Yeah.
they'll be like, there's a pin you have to enter. And I'm like, but I don't want to talk to the fucking person. I don't want to see the person delivering my food. Not because I'm better than them, because why would I? Like, I'm not.
It's kind of awkward, but to
I'm
a certain
like,
extent. Yeah.
no, I just like I didn't want to interact with people today. That was why I ordered food delivered.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Like I was like, if I wanted, if like I'm an idiot for doing it, because I could drive a mile and a half. I could call the company up. There's this place, 3 blocks away from my house. It's I forgot the name of it. Oh God. It's a Brazilian steakhouse. Whatever. Doesn't matter. And like if I go there or if I call them and say, yeah, I just want, you know, the bistec, like, you know, like breaded steak or something like that, giant rice, beans, whatever platter. They're like, okay, $17. See you when you get here. Cool.
Yeah.
Same order on Uber Eats. By the time I pay the tip, I'm $30 in.
Oof, okay.
So
yeah.
like,
okay.
So exact same logic, same Chinese, whatever. Like I get it. I get it. But the same logic, I'm like, I'm 100% gonna. If I'm ordering food, it's got to be worth it. Like I'm not ordering McDonald's. If I'm ordering McDonald's to my house, it's like 500 chicken nuggets. You know what I mean? Like if I'm ordering food, the amount of food it starts at like $60 or $70, and it's like multiple people's worth of food. Like multiple days worth of food. BJ's is now on Uber and DoorDash, and I have a BJ's card. BJ's Walmart,
Are they?
Costco.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So like I've had like I was like, yo, just send me a 36 pack of Coke Zero and like do my grocery shopping for the week. That no fucking problem because BJ's is dirt cheap as fuck, and like realistically, I'm only paying basically $20 for the service of somebody delivering me my groceries.
Yep.
With tip and everything, like $20 on top of whatever it would have paid for me driving, and I'm like, that's worth it. That's worth it to me. Like the $20, like $10, $15. BJ's is not far, but it's not there. Again, it's going in. Now, if these people are shopping for me, different, but they're not. That's not how that works. They're the people are bringing the stuff up. They're going to pick it up. They're fucking leaving. I don't know. It just White Castle. Burgers are like $1 each, right? It's generally $1.25 with cheese or something like that. Sack of 10 is either $10 or $13 or something. Uber Eats, sack of 10, $17.95. And then it's tax, and then it's service fee, and then it's delivery fee, and then it's tip. And I'm like, bro, I'm gonna eat this pizza. I'm gonna eat this DiGiorno.
DiGiorno. Listen.
Yeah.
I can vibe with some DiGiorno.
For what it's worth, this isn't DiGiorno. This is my grocery store brand, because my grocery store brand is 2 for $10.
That's fair.
And when I get grocery store brand pizza, When I get grocery store brand pizza, we're going for volume, not for flavor.
Okay, I can respect it.
Is it good? It's pizza.
Pizza.
Is it better? Is it better than Giovanni's? No, of course not. But Giovanni's is $12.50 for a large pie.
You gotta have perspective, where that's concerned. Yeah, you gotta have a little bit of perspective there.
Hell yeah, Jay. 2 large deep dish pizza streams for $20 because they know me. Hell yeah. Also, now we're talking about Uber because there's nothing to talk about. You ever walk into a place like Chipotle or Wendy's or any of them, and then just see all of the delivery food just on a wall,
just sitting there?
I'm like, it's Wendy's. Ain't nothing in that bag I ain't gonna eat. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Wendy's don't have an item on their list that I can't eat. Yeah, look at this picture of Rhino.
Do I have to?
Sony are confident that Kraven the Hunter will be as successful as the Venom films. Let's talk about this, because you just watched the trailer.
Do they? What exactly do they consider to be success? I'm confused.
I'm gonna say it so that nobody can ever say I didn't. It doesn't look bad. The movie doesn't look bad.
Bad, no.
But
yeah,
I won't be surprised if it's good. I'll be like, oh wow, it cannot be great. like this movie can be a 6, right? Toka and Razor looked great, Jay Trocious, and I don't like what you're insinuating. I'm not happy about this conversation, where this conversation's going.
Let's do it.
Sony can't make the Venom movie. The first Venom movie was passable. It wasn't good.
Yeah.
It was like it was an even 5 out of 10. Right? An even 5 out of 10. I'm saying that as a fan of Venom and comic books. What they chose to do with that movie harkens back to like what they did with the Spider-Man movie, and what they did with the Fantastic Four movie, and what they did with the X-Men movies, which are comic books are for nerds. I know better how to tell this story. And that's an awfully large thing to say. Venom was a poor telling of a good story.
Yep.
The second one was dog shit. It was truly awful. Ruined Carnage. The first time Carnage on the big screen didn't have to do much. They did the opposite of much. They did negative.
And that's kind of the issue for me. It's like it really wasn't that hard to, like, Carnage was easy, in my opinion, because Carnage was just have him kill a bunch of people. That was it. Have him kill a bunch of people. And then we got whatever we got. Excited for Alien and Romulus?
I'm always excited for another Alien movie.
Yeah, Slightly.
I just have no expectations, so I'm pleasantly surprised all the time.
That's fair. That's entirely fair.
The problem I have with Sony
Say it again.
is
Mm-hmm.
is that Sony is not good at making movies. They're not good. I've said it a million times, and apparently no one's taken away their right to make movies. So I'm going to keep saying it until they stop making movies. They're not good at movies.
They really aren't, bro.
So when I look at the Craven trailer, when I look at these stills, I don't care that he looks goofy. I don't care. I just don't believe anybody involved in the Craven the Hunter movie, just like I don't believe anyone involved in Morbius, Madam Web, fucking the Carnage movie, even the fucking Venom movie,
Yeah.
gives any amount of fuck to make the movie for the people who will see it. The people who want to see that movie, you know, like they're not. And I don't want to see a Craven. I love Craven the Hunter. Stop making Spider-Man movies without Spider-Man. Problem solved, guys.
Yeah, it's like, what is this movie if we're not getting The Last Hunt? Like, why is Craven's Last Hunt, like, why is that not what this movie is about? Is my question. I mean, that would have been an interesting story. That's a story that would be interesting, I think, to non-comic book fans.
Top 3 villains of all time, go. Comic book villains. Across everything. Think
Top 3
top 3 comic book villains of all time. Like, if you ask a random stranger in the fucking street to name a comic book villain, who are they saying?
Probably Magneto, right? They'll throw him out there. I don't know if many people would say Apocalypse, but I mean, he'll probably
absolutely not. Not before they say Joker.
Yeah, like if you're I'm thinking Marvel.
Top 3
Joker,
all time.
Yeah, top
all
3.
Time.
Magneto, Joker, and
maybe Thanos now, but
yeah, probably Thanos. But I just don't. Thanos is so very specific to an audience. I don't think that would be it. I can't think of a third one. I'm trying to think about what would they think. I have multiple thirds, but what would they think as an option?
Like, I don't even want to say top. If you polled 100 people, like Family Feud rules, you polled 100 people on the street and said, name a comic book villain. Magneto's up there. Dr. Octopus is up there.
Green Goblin.
People have heard of Dr. Octopus. No, I don't know about Green Goblin. People have heard about Dr. Octopus from...
I think a lot of people have heard about Green Goblin since
maybe
probably the first. Yeah.
Joker's up there.
Some people might remember Lex Luthor.
Lex Luthor's up there.
Yeah.
Doom is more of a nerd thing, but like people make, because like Doom has literally never been in anything other than like video games and comic books. He's been in a couple of movies, and those movies weren't good. But like,
I feel like he's very specific, unfortunately, which
people know him. People might say Doom. I can imagine Doom being said before Kang, definitely Thanos, because like I said, of recent pop culture, people might know Thanos. But like,
people might say Loki, right? But then people
Loki
regard him now as a hero. So,
no, people would say Loki because like Loki is kind of around. I don't like. No one's naming Deathstroke, even though he's one of the best villains in the DC universe. Nobody's naming Darkseid, even though he's one of the most powerful beings in the universe, or Doomsday, even though he broke Superman's back. No one's naming Sinestro. You know, like, if you think of like the average person who just like they go to work, they do their job, they raise their kids, even from like a kid's perspective, there just aren't many villains, right?
Yep.
Like heroes, Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, Wolverine, those are getting named immediately. Then maybe like Iron Man, Captain America, that's it.
Yep. Thor. You say Thor?
Thor, Wonder Woman. Ask your roommate. Yeah, go. Fuck yeah. Ask your roommate. Go ahead, Jay. Ask your roommate to name as many villains as he can, as off the top of his head. Comic book villains. Anything. Any type. Come back.
I would love to ask her.
You can do a movie about the Joker because the character is fascinating. You can do a movie about Magneto because the character is fascinating.
Yep.
It's hard to do a movie about a villain without at least alluding to the hero.
Right.
Joker alluded to the presence of the Waynes in that movie, but it really was about some crazy fuck. And it was a good, well done movie about Joker.
Yeah.
Nobody fucking knows who Morbius is. Nobody fucking knows who Kraven is. Nobody fucking knows who Rhino is. Nobody fucking knows who Madam Web is. Venom, pretty popular as a villain.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Venom's and Carnage, both of them. I'd say maybe Venom's a little bit more popular than Carnage, but like they're both pretty popular.
Yeah.
Venom movie makes sense. If you try to tell a story of Morbius, who's not just, he's also a Ghost Rider villain. He's also a Joker, Joker's girl, and Green Goblin. Her words, not mine. Joker's girl, and Green Goblin. Sorry, that one took a minute to land.
Wow.
Okay. I've been drinking.
I've been drinking.
Yeah, Joker is like, it makes sense that there's a Joker movie. It doesn't make sense that there's a Kraven movie. He's a villain. Make him a villain. And the reason villains don't get their own stories immediately is because we need to understand that they are fucking villains. Then we need to understand why. Morbius is a villain. No, I'm trying to help people. That's true. And then he turned himself into a vampire and needs to eat blood or he dies. Plasma. But still. Sony thinks that they're gonna run through Peter Parker's infinite fucking gallery of bad guys and come up with fascinating... There's no doubt in my mind that they came up with a phenomenal story about a dude who is a hunter.
Yep.
The problem is, if he's Kraven the Hunter, he needs to see Spider-Man.
Right.
If he's Michael Morbius, he needs to be stopped by Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, yep.
If he's Dr. Octagonopus, soundbite coming up.
Dr. Octagonopus.
He needs to...
did I not hear it? They hear it.
Yeah, they hear it. They need this, and they don't know. Madam Web. Without Spider-Man, what you have is a nothing character.
Yeah, she's just there. Thanks, Jay.
They saw, keep in mind, when Marvel was trying to sell Sony more of their characters to make movies out of, they said nobody gives a shit out of those characters, just Spider-Man. And they made 5 somewhat enjoyable Spider-Man movies. They were somewhat enjoyable. Every single Spider-Man movie was enjoyable.
Yeah,
From Tobey Maguire to Andrew Garfield, they were all enjoyable movies.
Half of the third one. Yeah.
The third one was still enjoyable, but it wasn't enjoyable for a fan of Venom.
Yeah.
That's what like if you liked Venom, you weren't happy with what they did. Same thing with Carnage. Like they could have done well with Venom, right? They could have made Venom a hero, and then they could have had Venom hunting down Kraven, Morbius. They could have done that. They wanted the Avengers so fucking bad that they're like, well, if they could take the characters nobody fucking cares about, we're going to take our infinite characters that are related to someone they care about. Like the most interesting, because I think it's Batman is the #1 in the world most popular comic book character. I think it's Batman #1, and then I think it's Spider-Man, and then it's Wolverine. I think that's the 3 most popular comic book.
I would have said Hulk, but is Hulk like after
Hulk's? Let me look up.
Hulk's probably. I would have thought it would have been Hulk before Wolverine, but then, yeah, you're probably right. Batman,
Superman, Wolverine, Spider-Man,
Captain America. Really,
I don't believe Captain America, but maybe more recently. Cyclops, yeah, Cyclops is huge, very popular.
Yeah,
Iron Man, this is
Iron
wrong.
Man.
Storm, probably right. Beast, I think these are based on number of appearances, so I don't know if that's right. Most popular superheroes revealed. Well, this is not revealed. This is just random words. Batman, Spider-Man, Superman. No, Wolverine's definitely up there. Like most people know who Wolverine is before, like Snicked, Metal Claws, Berserker. Like
when was Wolverine?
Even Nightcrawler, I think, is
was that like was it 80s? Was it 80s?
He was
Wolverine was
a little bit earlier. He was a Hulk villain.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
best-selling One Piece is in the best-selling comic series. Yeah, you do it for 30 years.
Love it.
Oh, some rando. Batman, Spider-Man, Wolverine, Superman. Like this is generally. Okay. I feel like if you said Batman, Spider-Man, Wolverine and Superman, people would be like, I know who that is. Yeah. Right? Like you don't have to explain. Kryptonite is in the lexicon of the English language. People use the phrase kryptonite to describe their weakness.
Right. It's my kryptonite.
Batman's Batman, baby. It's like Batman's Batman, baby. Ain't nobody know Batman.
That's it.
If I said Batman and they're like, who's that? I'd be like, you are an alien. Like, you cannot be from Earth.
Are you Tarzan?
If I said Batman to people who don't speak English, they'd be like, Batman. You know, like, yeah, I think there's a lot of popular characters, but like, everybody in the world. If I go to a country that does not speak a lick of English and I go, Batman? They're gonna be like, Batman! You know, Batman, like they know everybody knows Batman. Like third world countries are like sewing together Batman clothes at the Gap. You know, like they know Batman and Spider-Man. They're very popular.
Right.
But you can't just like Iron Man. Seriously, I need you to think
Iron Man
of an Iron Man bad guy I need you, Jay, go ask your roommate to name one Iron Man bad guy.
This is gonna be
Jay, you're
good.
part of this now.
This is gonna be real good. I'm curious as heck now. Come
One
on.
Iron Man bad guy. One. Just one.
I'm curious.
Bonus points if the response is anything other than another person in a suit.
Oh man. Okay.
Iron Man's bad guys. I can name a bunch of them. They all suck.
Yeah, the Mandarin.
Fing Fang Foom. MODOK.
This is already going too far. All right. Was MODOK one of his?
AIM was
AIM. Okay, yeah.
AIM was very specifically an Iron Man bad guy because they were
okay.
against Stark Industries.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Obadiah Stane, right?
Was it Ironmonger?
Ironmonger.
Crimson Dynamo.
Yep. Mm-hmm. That was,
Whiplash.
Whiplash. I remember that movie.
Yeah, right? Yeah, like Iron Man villains are like people who stole Iron Man's suit. I don't know. She's thinking. Yeah, exactly. No, you're right. She's good.
She has to.
She's good. She's good. Yeah.
Tell her to take her time.
Yeah, she can
take her
yeah,
time.
tell her to Google it.
Right. Actually, I wonder, if we Googled it, what would it say? Like, Iron Man's villains. I'm curious.
Fucking
now.
Thanos. I don't know. It's gonna say some dumb shit.
Iron Man's villains.
Let me look it up.
Justin Hammer.
Crimson Dynamo, Ghost, Whiplash, Fing Fang Foom, Madam Mask, Mandarin, Titanium Man, Justin Hammer.
Ghost. Okay.
Obadiah Stane, Spy Master, MODOK, another Whiplash, Blizzard, Detroit Steel, Ultron.
That's wild, bro. Okay.
Ultron's not an Iron Man bad guy. Norman Osborn, yeah, technically for like an afternoon. Ultimo, bro. They haven't even. Who's Ultimo? Ultimo is a 90 fucking story robot.
Yo, nah.
Ultimo is this massive robot. Fing Fang Foom, an alien giant dragon, correct?
Yep.
Sasha Hanger, Obadiah's kid, demon in a bot, him drinking booze. Iron Man villains suck donkey balls.
Yeah, they do.
And now we're gonna go even one step further. Captain
Did they like they're
America.
not retcon, but they turned MODOK into like almost like a parody in a sense, like in the comics.
They
after
fucking
a while, right?
ruined him.
Yeah, because he was like brutal.
Yeah, well they're like,
in the
well, we
beginning.
gave Ultron to Iron Man, so let's give MODOK to Ant-Man, and nobody was fucking happy. All right. Abe Jenkins, Abner Doolittle. This is Captain America enemies. Abomination, Absorbing Man, Abyss, also Abyss, Acrobat, Adam 2, Adolf Hitler.
It's gonna take a long time for us to get to Red Skull, but okay.
Adonis.
This is by alphabetical
Agent
order. I see.
Orange.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I'll stop when I see a name that's either ridiculous. Algernon Crow, guys.
Bro.
Who forgot?
Who's that?
The infinite villain.
All right. Listen, hey.
Of Captain America.
He
Algernon Crow. Alistair Eliath. Alistair Smythe.
Okay.
Oh God. Amazing Grace. Amazo is from DC. So this is wrong. Let me see what this says. Okay. AIM. Arnim Zola, all of Hydra. We don't have to go past that. Hydra, the entirety of Hydra. Batroc the Leaper, okay. Crossbones, Dr. Octagonopus, blah. Flag Smasher, Hate Monger, a clone of Adolf Hitler. I love us.
Oh my
Heinz Kruger, the Nazi agent who murdered Dr. Erskine. Jack-o'-lantern, the Cobra, the Serpent Society, Madam Hydra, which is, if I remember correctly,
I understood that reference.
Yeah, Madam Hydra is,
Oh, she said Ultron. Love it.
Love it.
Love it.
Yeah, like there are no Taskmaster, but he's everyone's bad guy, so that doesn't really count.
Yeah.
Winter Soldier. We've already seen 100% of Captain America's bad guys.
You saw Red Skull.
All of Hydra.
Oh
But-
yeah, Red Skull, Hydra, and does anyone else matter after that?
Would you watch Real Talk?
Yeah,
I'm being dead fucking serious.
hit me with it.
Would you go to the movies
Yeah,
and pay for a ticket today in the year of our Lord 2024?
Yeah.
To watch a movie about Red Skull.
bro.
Not a movie with Red Skull.
No, because my question would be: are we doing a movie just based on Red Skull, or are we doing a Captain America movie that includes Red Skull?
Are we explaining what he's been up to? No. So why are we getting a Kraven the fucking Hunter movie?
Who cares, bro? Yeah.
What is, like, Sony, baby, girl, what is you doing? Like, what is happening here that you think this is where we need to be? You're wrong. This would have, I guarantee you, if this movie wasn't called Kraven the Hunter, it'd have been fine.
Yeah.
It would have been a fine
I agree.
movie.
Yeah.
But now they're just terrible. They're awful people doing awful things.
I'm disappointed. Because all this does, and I'll tell you why I'm disappointed. Because all this does at the end of the day is that it takes away from it takes away from being able for the MCU to be able to use these characters now, right? Because Sony is like, yo, we have the rights now. We've used these characters on screen. So that means that the MCU version of Peter Parker, yeah, sure, you're sharing Peter Parker, but you can't, you're gonna have to get a separate agreement to be able to share those villains. Like, because think about it, right? We got Kraven, it's Rhino, two members that could have been a part of the Sinister Six, and then also Chameleon, because what's his brother, Kraven's brother. So the three characters gone right there that you could use as villains for Spider-Man.
Conservatively speaking,
yeah,
just be like, don't be generous. What percentage of Marvel movie fans do you believe are also like tuned in to like I'll even put it, what percentage of movie watching adults do you believe are tuned in to the general atmosphere of Marvel? Like, what do you think?
20 to 30%, maybe. around there. That's probably where I would land.
Okay.
At the height of it, I would say you probably got about 40 to 50%. You know, maybe even shoot it higher, maybe shoot even higher than that, especially when you have things like Avengers Endgame back then, Infinity War. Like a lot of people were getting more involved into the story. I know for a fact, like my brother is not a Marvel fan at all, but because he heard how good stuff was up until Infinity War, watched previous movies in preparation for Endgame.
My mom watched them. She loves those movies.
Yeah.
I watched them with her. She loved them.
Yeah.
Oh God, I have to watch Deadpool and Wolverine with her. That's gonna be fun.
Oh, that's gonna be great.
That's gonna be a blast. I'm so excited for that. You have no idea how excited I am.
That's gonna be good.
I didn't even think of that. The last thing we watched was the Loki, the finale
series.
Oh no, we watched Quantumania.
Excuse me. How did she feel about that?
She was like, "This is my mom is 63 years old, right?
Yeah.
Italian woman. She dead ass at the end of the movie. She's like, so he's just gone?
That's what we said.
Yeah. Swear to God, dead ass. After watching Loki and understanding who this motherfucker, she hated He Who Remains. She was like, "Oh, he's a bastard." She called him a bastard.
That's good. She should hate him personally.
Yeah, and then she saw him. She's like, "Oh, that's the guy," and I'm like, "Yup." She's like, "Oh, which one is he?" And I was like, "We'll find out." And she's like, "Oh, he's the bad one. He's the one they were warned about." And then she liked everything with Ant-Man. She liked. She was like, "Oh, he's torturing his daughter." Like, she hated this dude. And then she was like, "Wait, he's just gone now?" Like that's.
Love it. Because that is the sentiment of a lot of us. We're just like, bro, you could okay. All right.
Just gone now.
She has a valid point, man.
So I'm gonna ask another question. 20 to 30% we'll say. Okay, cool. What percentage of people that are interested in seeing comic book movies, not the overall universe, just that would go out to see comic book movies, currently know the difference between a Marvel movie and a Sony movie?
Mm-hmm.
Today, not like
percentage,
6 months ago.
The percentage of people that would notice is what you're saying.
Percentage of people that are already interested in, like not a random adult off the street. The people who are like, "Oh, I like comic book movies. They've been good.
Yeah.
I've been enjoying them." How many today know the difference between like this is a Marvel movie, this is a Sony movie?
Oh man, that's tough.
Yeah, because that number is higher.
That's tough.
That number is higher than 20%. I don't know that it's 50%.
I would say it's like 40%. Yeah, I would say 40.
Yeah, it's 40%.
Yeah.
Catwoman is. Your mom said something terrible. She said Halle Berry Catman was one of the most interesting and clever movies. That Catwoman is better than Batman. Hey man,
okay.
Your mom's a great person.
We all
and even great people can be wrong. It's fine. If she enjoyed it, that's great. Jay, you enjoyed The Acolyte. I can't take that away from you. I wouldn't want to.
What an experience.
I wouldn't want to take your enjoyment away. That's a shitty thing to do for a shitty person.
It is.
That doesn't mean I'm going to pretend I liked it. Like
you shouldn't.
Yeah. No, my mom likes dumb shit too. I don't know. It's like she's a huge fan of certain characters, and I'm like, really, Mom? She loved Shang-Chi.
She loves Shang-Chi?
She loved Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi was all. She loved that shit.
Oh man,
She loved every second of Shang-Chi.
I liked it too. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm never gonna like come out.
She didn't
and be
like
oh, this
it.
was terrible.
She loved it. She fell asleep during Eternals. Just
Didn't we all? No, I'm kidding. I stayed up for it. But
dude, she fell asleep during Eternals.
oh my goodness.
Bad. No, like, but she loved Shang-Chi. She's like, oh, look at that cute little thing. She's like, oh, that's the guy from Iron Man. Like, she remembered. We didn't watch him in a thing. Like, every Friday, we would watch, like, one or two. Because I would, like, cook dinner, and I'd visit her, I'd cook dinner. You know, it was bonding time. She had just gotten out of cancer stuff, and I wanted to spend more time with her and make sure everything was okay. So, like, she's like, all these Marvel things are like super big. I'm like, let's fucking watch them. And she's like, oh, these are great. She loves the movies. They're really good movies. They're not, but like, oh God, Black Widow. She was like, is this the same people? They made this movie?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She watched the TV shows too. She didn't watch the What If. She had no interest in the animated one. She's like,
not a cartoon type of person, I assume.
well, yeah, but she loved Moon Knight too.
Okay.
My mom is a very simple person. When the bad guy gets punished for being a bad guy, she's happy.
Okay.
So, like, when Thanos won at the end of Infinity War,
He was like, what the hell is going on here?
she was like, what are they going to do? Are we going to watch the next one? And I was like, no, we got to watch Captain Marvel first. And she was like,
oh, man.
so I made her watch Ant-Man and the Wasp and Captain Marvel before we got to that. But she liked those movies. She liked them all because they're, like I said, joyful, joyless.
Yeah.
She didn't like Doctor Strange because it was a little too witchy for her. Her words, not mine. But she liked WandaVision, which was arguably way more witchy.
I'm a little confused here, bro. I'm a little confused.
She liked the first Doctor Strange movie. She actually had seen that somehow on her own. Like she watched it with like a neighbor or a friend or something.
Okay.
It was on TV and she was like, oh, this looks good. She liked that movie. She's like, oh, this is pretty. And the second one, she's like, this is weird. Like everything that's happening is weird. I don't know. Here's the problem Sony has, right?
Yeah.
If Sony's like, we're not going to work with you anymore, Marvel. You can't use Spider-Man anymore. We're going to make our own money. They're going to fucking tank Spider-Man forever. And there's people there who know, Amy Pascal, they know that. Yeah. Like they know when the story of like, you know, Tom Holland called crying about getting a deal to work out. No. They knew. They just wanted a better cut of the deal, and they got it. Because they should have had it. Like, they had the rights. Whether they're good with it or not, they should have been a 50-50 profit split, I believe, personally.
Yeah.
They're spending all the money. Like, they should have gotten it, and they did. I don't think it's exactly 50-50, but I think it's closer now. Because before it was like 70-30 or something. It was crazy. Marvel got to keep all the fucking money.
I mean, yeah. I mean, good deal by them, but
they literally were like, Feige, could you help us with these things? And he's like, no, I have my own shit going on, and I got Chapek on my ass telling me to make 30 fucking TV shows. Like, no.
Yeah, that's wild, man.
I truly don't understand how Disney's doing anything. And not how Sony's doing anything other than just trying to get the people who worked for Marvel.
Yeah.
I don't know. All I know is that Craven, as good as Craven can be, it can't be great. Like, it's impossible. It can't.
Yeah.
I don't know how much Craven cost them to make. I would be truly, and let me just see some comparisons.
Say that last part again.
I'm saying, let me see some comparisons.
There you go.
Venom made 856 million in the box office.
What was their budget? Do you know?
For Venom, I could find out. 100 mil. 213 domestic, 642 international. So the majority of the money Venom made was from people who don't know better.
Oh.
But don't worry, that course corrected. Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage, doesn't even show the budget. And again, the 100 million was pre-marketing. Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage had to be more expensive than 100 million because it was a bigger movie. 506 worldwide, international 300, domestic 200. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. You know, like,
yeah.
That wasn't because the movie was bad. It was because the first movie wasn't as good as people thought it would be, so there was no reason to watch the second one. Yeah. And you could see, didn't release in China. The UK 24, France, Germany also about 24, Russia 32, South Korea 17, Mexico 24, Brazil 12. Morbius. Oh, sorry. I don't know what Morbius's budget is. Morbius made $167 million.
Morbius was how much?
It made $167 million. How much did it cost to make? Not enough to justify $167 million.
Yeah, no.
America, 73 million. 27 other countries, 93 million. Madam Web made $100 million.
Oh, that's rough, bro.
Craven, if Craven breaks 300 million box office, I will be shocked. Nobody knows or cares.
Yeah.
Who Craven? I love Craven.
I think Craven's a cool character. I just don't think he's a character that's cool enough to do an entire movie about. That's all.
TLC's right. Needs to take the L and do one of two things. Take the billion whatever and sell him back to Marvel. Or take a glorified producer role. I agree. Sony has no creative input at all.
They got too much pride for that, man. That's not going to happen.
But, like, that's the thing. The only thing keeping Sony alive is, you know, Fast and the Furious, I think, is Sony. Let's see. Sony Pictures. A Blake Lively movie. How nice for you. Venom 3. I've heard Fly Me to the Moon was actually pretty good. Oh, they have the Ghostbusters movies that are fine. How did Bad Boys do? I'm not looking it up. Glory. Glory is still on their fucking list. Glory is 1998. 13 going on 30. Anyone But You, Sydney Sweeney. Some Nicolas Cage garbage that I can't wait to watch.
It's Nicolas Cage.
Equalizer, that franchise is done now. A Gran Turismo movie. Yeah, Glory was insane. La Abuela, the grandmother. If you're gonna call it La Abuela, don't do that.
Hey, is that Moon Knight?
No, might as well be though. Venecia Frenia.
Yeah, no.
Or Venecia Frenia. Gran Turismo again. The Burt Kreischer movie. Yay! So happy they made that. Hotel Transylvania. Those are actually pretty fun movies. Did they do the other Resident Evils or just... No, they didn't. Okay. That feels like Lionsgate. The Pope's Exorcist with Russell Crowe. What is Sony doing? How are they still a The only reason they're still a studio... Insidious was actually a pretty good series, so I'm not gonna take away. But, like, how much money is Insidious making?
I would say look it up to get an idea.
Insidious the Red Door, 189 million. This is Sony's wheelhouse. Take movies that cost you 50 or 60 million dollars to make triple your fucking money, call it a day. Insidious. Budget 1.5 million, made $100 million.
Wow.
Like Insidious Chapter 2.
That's a profit.
Budget
right
$5 million, made $161 million. Insidious Chapter 3, budget $10 million, made $112 million. You spent too much, guys. You spent too much. $10 million, $167 million. Again, it's a horror franchise. Horror franchises tend to not do well. I understand. So, like, that's great. What was the other one we were talking about that Sony did? Oh, God. What is this? Real Genius with Val Kilmer. Bullet Train. Bullet Train was a fucking phenomenal movie.
Yeah, Bullet Train was good. That was good.
I loved Bullet Train.
Was that released in theaters or was that just on Netflix? I'm trying to remember. No, that wouldn't have been a Netflix movie. That would have been that. Got it. Never mind.
We don't know what the budget. I can look it up. Bullet Train made $239 worldwide. Bullet Train budget 90 mil. All right.
Okay.
But there was a lot of people in it, so I get it.
I mean, you got Brad Pitt. Yeah, a lot of
Ryan Reynolds. A lot of people were in that movie.
A
lot of people were in that movie. So like I get it. But even then, 80, 90 mil, I don't remember it ever having a fucking commercial. Making $239. It made its money back in America, pure profit internationally. Like, Sony's lane is a very simple one. I might be roboting a little. I'm sorry if I am. Sony's lane is a very simple one.
I might be as well. I got some stuff running in the background.
Yeah, spend $50. Right?
Yeah.
Make 200.
Yeah.
That's their lane. Do that. Stop trying to do what people who are better than you are doing. They can't make enough, and they're it's a very common thing. It's just eventually someone needs to take over, and someone smarter needs to take over, right? Sony needs to understand where they're good is with random ass bullshit, right? Random ass Men in Black series. Oh god, do you remember Men in Black International? That sucked. Television. Sony is responsible for Gen V? They might just be the producer for it.
Okay.
Cobra Kai. That makes sense.
You know, I still haven't watched the new season yet. That's on
of what?
bad.
Cobra Kai?
Yeah.
I've watched the first episode and then I just stopped. Not because I don't want to, just because I was like, fuck it.
I gotta watch it, man. I gotta watch it.
Sony there's somebody at Sony who's like, Marvel is making these movies, even their bad ones are making money. Why aren't we doing that? We have all these Marvel characters, and they're like, no, we have Spider-Man characters.
Yep.
We can make they should really, I'm not even joking. They should really just make, I swear to God, make like 5 Spider-Man movies, each at exactly 90 minutes over the course of a year. Like Tom Holland, 3 months on, 1 month off. We're gonna film a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
We're gonna write and do 5 fucking movies, and we're gonna after they're filmed, we're going to release them every 4 months. Spider-Man this, Spider-Man that, Spider-Man that, Spider-Man that, Spider-Man that. Go. Or fucking make a TV goddamn show.
Well, like, what have they produced TV show wise? Have they had that?
Sony Pictures Television Home. To learn more about our shows, click here. They did Gen V on Prime.
Okay, but they did. What were they let me see.
Well, they you know, they're just the production company. They're not. They don't own a TV channel. You know, they don't. Yeah. Sony isn't a. They don't have Sony Live. You know, they used to. The PlayStation, for the PlayStation 3, they had like TV shows directly to PlayStation Plus. Those are gone. Their Shark Tank they produce, SWAT on CBS, Cobra Kai they produce. There doesn't seem to be many no upcoming events. Sony Pictures Television Nonfiction and Sony Pictures Television US. These are the production studios. They have a studio that co-produces American Idol. They have a studio that produces for Netflix, Roku, MGM Plus, Instagram, Discovery, TikTok, and Sci-Fi. They have this studio, which is unscripted content. So like reality TV.
Okay.
Sharp Entertainment. Nat Geo produces shows for Nat Geo, TLC, joint ventures, production overall deals. Yeah, so these are the production. This is their production companies for nonfiction, and then Crunchyroll, the Game Show Network, whatever GET is, Great Entertainment Television. I have no idea what the fuck that is. And then Sony Movies and Sony Cine, which is Spanish Sony Movies. And if I click on this, what happens? Don't try to log me in. Schedule. Yeah, their website doesn't work. Surprise, Sony's dog shit.
Okay.
But like, but again, Sony doesn't do that. They just own the studios. That they're like I forget the term Marvel has for their green screen studio. It's called oh god, there's a word for it. If anyone remembers, it's great. But they own like this one studio that they rent out at like, it's like $42,000 a day for you to rent their green screen studio.
Okay, I got you. Okay.
So like they have it's in Georgia. I know three things about it. It's very expensive. It is owned by Disney and it's in Georgia. And they rent it out to people who want to do like really good green screen and production stuff. Oh god, what's it called? Disney's green screen studio name. The Volume.
Are they doing Gladiator 2? Is that them?
Who? Disney?
Sony.
Oh, I have no idea. Maybe. I didn't see it.
I saw it on the screen. Okay.
Yeah, so this is what the Volume is. It is this massive green screen set that lets you like, it is the background is a like it's something like an entire fucking warehouse wall of LED screens that can be programmed to show anything.
Okay.
So like this is a scene of Thor,
It's
and
Paramount,
this is
by
the
way. Never mind.
Huh?
Gladiator 2 is Paramount.
Oh, okay.
$310 million budget, by the way.
For Gladiator?
Yeah.
It cannot make that back.
There's no way.
There's no way.
Yeah.
You can't. Why are we spending 310? This is money laundering. It has to be.
I don't understand it. It was originally supposed to only be 150 million or something like that. 165 million, and then an increase. They said one of the factors was the Hollywood strikes, which reportedly shut down starting in July 2023. Reportedly cost $600,000 a week, or almost $10 million in total. I'm like, well, that's only equals $10 million. Where did the remaining 130 million come from? I don't understand.
The last season of Friends, and this is only relevant because Friends was a very popular long-running show. An episode of Friends costs as much to produce as an episode of Game of Thrones. $10 million an episode. Hold on. How many episodes were
in the Hollywood term is reshoots?
Season of 18 episodes.
Yeah.
The last season of Friends was $180 million, and more than half of that went to the cast. And it was the 10th season. So if they were spending 10 million an episode, $180 million, they were charging, I think they said 400,000 for a commercial slot.
Okay.
In that time slot, and there are 3 commercials for a 22. Friends was 30 minutes, right?
Yeah, 25. 30,
it was
yeah,
22, but There are 3. So each episode of Friends made $1.2 million in ad revenue. $400,000 for... No, it was... Sorry. That's one commercial. A commercial break is 3 minutes, usually. There's usually 3 commercial breaks in a 22-minute series. 30-minute series. There's about 3 commercial breaks in it. So it's about 9. Each commercial break is about 3 commercials. So 3 times 4 times 3. $3.6 million an episode is what they made in advertising revenue. In just advertising.
Yeah.
Like, so they spent $10 million an episode for the things, and they made $3.6 million in advertising revenue. Which, it's something. It seems like it's not much, but also there's a lot more money coming in. Because that wasn't a deal that just Friends had, it's a deal that the studio had to be able to sign those people on to advertise on other things that weren't as popular because of how advertising works. So if they were spending $10 million an episode for season 10, they knew that each episode was worth at least $15 million to them, right? Minimum.
Yeah. Wow.
And that was
and
the
that
10th
was back
season.
then.
That was
And
the
that was-
10th season
Yeah.
of the most popular show on television.
Yeah.
So the most popular show on television cost $180 million for an 18 episode season. And She-Hulk It's been a while, guys. She-Hulk cost $180 million.
Oh my gosh.
9 episodes. She-Hulk budget. 225. Each episode had a budget of $25 million.
It was
Someone
9 episodes,
is
right?
walking around with $22 million in their pocket for each episode.
I'm sorry. It was 225 million?
180 was the Acolyte. I'm sorry.
Whoa. Talk about egregious spending. What is that?
$25 million an episode.
Sorry, I have to reposition my footrest here. I'll be right back.
25 million an episode.
That is, bro, that is so whoever did that needs to be fired. Whoever approved that budget needs to be fired. There's nothing else to say.
How much did Moon Knight
The only
cost?
thing that was good about that series is seeing Tatiana Maslany.
Moon Knight was 147 million for 6 episodes.
Oh, yeah.
It spent 97 million in Hungary to qualify for reimbursement. Interesting.
How much? But here's the thing: how much do these shows make back? Though, is the question. Like, how does that work? How does revenue for them work?
I have
subscriptions.
some information. No, that's so. There's a couple of different things. And we are never going to know the exact answers.
Okay. But if you have an idea,
first,
yeah.
So I know this because of my experience working specifically with two of these the streaming service companies. The first is, don't think of subscriptions and people coming and people going. God, this could be an entire fucking conversation. I'll try to keep it short. Don't think of the subscriptions as what they're trying to get. That's what a lot of people seem to think. It's not.
Okay.
For the most part, they're trying to do about two different things. The first is maintain the existing subscriptions they have.
Okay.
Hold on. Estimated active US Netflix subscriptions. Okay, so Netflix has 84 million active subscribers right now.
Okay.
And
is that like, do we think that there's an over there or an under?
It's a little over. 84.1. So I'm saying 84 million. The average cost of a Netflix subscription is $10. Because the big ones are 17, but the ones with ads are like 7 or 6.
Okay.
So we're just gonna add we're not gonna add a 0. We're gonna multiply this number, which is the total number of active subscriptions, by 120, which is the amount of money every year that Netflix will come in from that average. 12 months, $10 a month, 120. And Netflix generates $10 billion a year in subscriptions. Take that down a peg. They don't care if that number goes up or down by any major margin.
Okay.
Because the other thing, and this like part B of this, multi-part thing, is that they are now able to go to companies like AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, Rogers, I forgot who does it over in Europe, and say, how much money will you give us to bundle our service with what you offer?
Okay.
Hulu does, they all do it, but like, and then a company, even fucking Verizon, even like TV channel, Comcast right now has a deal, or Spectrum, I think it's called, has a deal where you can spend $15 a month for Hulu, Disney Plus, and Apple TV or something. No, it's special to just them, but it's a very specific deal just to them.
I think Verizon is the one that does.
Verizon
Disney,
has
Hulu, and HBO, yeah.
Verizon has the Disney suite, right? So they come and they go, Comcast, how much are you willing to pay for this? And they're like, what do you mean? They're like, we'll give you the right for each subscriber you have to buy our service and bundle it in to your package. Charge whatever you want. We don't care. Easy.
Yeah.
Cost us nothing. That's why they're not worried. Because of the 84 million paid subscribers, 30% off the top are people who pay for it and might not even know they have it.
Right.
I didn't know I had Netflix because I canceled my Netflix subscription. No, my phone service comes with it for free. I totally fucking forgot. I was like, oh shit, I still have Netflix. Yeah, my phone comes with it for free, literally for free. I was like, oh, that was the step one, because now they're in. So now it doesn't matter. Every person who pays the actual retail price for Netflix is paying basically double what the average person is paying, which is why I said $10 is a good estimate number.
Yeah.
$10 billion is their annual revenue, like how much money they make.
Okay.
Then they get to go to companies and say, hey, we're going to advertise. This is the other part. This is part 2. We're done with part 1. How much will you give us to show your product? This is how many people we have. We're not going to run ads. We could run ads. We're not going to run ads, but we'll use product placement. How much are you going to give us? We're not going to. Oh, okay. That worked out real well for M&M's after E.T.
Okay.
I don't know if you know that. Reese's Pieces sales went through the roof for a decade after E.T. M&M people got fired at M&M for turning that down, by the way.
Okay. Wow.
Yep. It was, and they were asking nothing for it too. They were like, give us like $30,000 and we'll do it. And then like, it was crazy. Reese's Pieces, yeah, crazy shit. That was a huge thing. That's what Netflix does. Hey, whenever we have the opportunity to, we will use your product over anything else. And we will, or whatever the contract says, we won't show. We won't show. There's a lot of shows a lot of channels that do this. A lot, like Disney does it. Disney had a deal, just super secret. Nobody knew except everybody. Disney had a deal with Audi. Audi won the bid. That's why Iron Man always drove Audis.
I did. Okay.
And then of course, the other stuff is production. A lot of times people, like Netflix, there was a reason Netflix was greenlighting everything, because they're like, we'll give you a budget of $5 million. Do whatever you can with it. Why $5 million? Because the cost of operating Netflix is not $10 billion. I would even go so far as to say the cost of operating Netflix, I don't even know how many people work at Netflix, but I'm going to go ahead and assume it's like under 100. Netflix total employees. I think that some of these numbers are a little questionable. Netflix had a record-breaking year in terms of revenue, earning approximately $33.7 billion in 2023, 13,000 people worldwide. See, this is the number where I'm like, I'm not entirely sure that makes sense, because what do they, like, remember when Scopely used to be like, we have thousands of employees, and it's like, you have like 30. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
you do not employ thousands of people. I feel like they're kind of futzing with the numbers a little bit. Like even fucking Twitter, right? Twitter at its peak before Elon took out only had like 7,000 employees, and Twitter was the largest social media platform on the fucking planet.
All right.
Now it's dog shit. Good.
Right back.
Yeah, like I don't want to again. Okay, Goofy's leaving, so I'll tell you guys. The other thing is like how movies are made. I talk to you all the time about this, and I don't want to rehash too much, but like movies are their own company for the most part. Modern movies, like especially under big franchises, like Deadpool and Wolverine. Deadpool and Wolverine was its own fucking company. They created a company inside, like a shell company, but not as shady, inside that organization. Inside Disney. Disney started a new company. It was called the Deadpool and Wolverine Company. Whatever it was called, I don't know, but we'll call it that. And that company existed where the people hired in that company were limited liability under that company. So every actor, every stagehand, all the crew, everything, that company paid for it. That company has to access Disney's product. Disney has the soundstage we were just talking about, the volume, right? One of the most advanced AV stages in the fucking world. If not the most advanced AV stage in the world. Disney made a company that bought that. In order for the company that owns the volume, you would think, because like we think like regular human beings with the mind of a regular fucking person. Well, we own this, so we're just going to use it for free. It's not how it fucking works. The volume is its own company. So in order for Deadpool and Wolverine to use the volume, that is a business-to-business transaction. Even though they're both under the same company, and as a former employee of like Unilever and a bunch of other very weird, large Fortune 500 companies, they all work like this. Every single one. Oh, the core of the company, 30 fucking employees. And then every company inside the company has a number of employees. And then there are sub companies in those. So in order for the people in Deadpool and Wolverine to use the volume, they have to pay the volume. How are Deadpool and Wolverine getting the money? They are getting a loan from Disney and the executive producers, the people who are, that's what producers do. They pay for it so they can have a say in what goes on and have their name on the fucking lights. They get a loan from Disney, and Disney goes, oh, okay, we'll give you, it costs $42,000 a day, and you need it for 3 days? Cool, we'll give you a loan of $150,000, and we'll take X points after of the revenue, you know, until the loan is paid back. So Disney gives one of its companies money to pay its other fucking company to use its product. And in that process, in that circle, right, of money laundering, it's not, but it, you know, it's legal money laundering. In that process, Deadpool and Wolverine, the company, has debt. The volume has profit. The volume has to pay rent to the owner of the studio where they live, which is another company that Disney owns. So they pay rent, and it moves on. Disney manages to take X dollars and inflate its numbers in debt, in revenue, and in rent 3 times. Overall, Disney's profitability through the fucking roof because they loaned out $150,000 that they made back because the movie made it back, and that was part of the deal. The actual company, Deadpool and Wolverine, like that company, they're not making any money because they have to pay Disney back so much money. All the actors have deals after, which is why those excessives go up. When we talk about when She-Hulk was $225 million, it's not money laundering, but it's as, like, if we tried it, it would be. You know what I mean? Like if me and Goofy tried it, we don't have the lawyers to fight the IRS to say it's not. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
We're not making enough money that we could threaten to be like, fine, we're just going to film everything in Azerbaijan from now on. And they're like, what? No, we need that money for American jobs. Don't do that. All right, well then fuck off. Okay. So you missed nothing. I just keeping everybody entertained while you were gone. So that is how that makes sense. What doesn't make sense is how Disney Plus can justify $225 million for 9 episodes of a TV show that easily could have been made for half that money. And the difference in quality would never have been noticed. And that's what happened. Tatiana Maslany, you can even see, right? She-Hulk salary. She made $50K per episode. The head actress made $450,000 filming that. Even how many actors were in that movie? Like seriously, 10. 10 who had speaking. No, who had speaking roles? 10, 15.
Who knows, man? Who remembers that?
6.7, called $7 million was the actor's budget.
Yep.
Where did the other 200 million go? And
That's
now you
part.
understand.
Yeah.
It went nowhere. It went back to Disney. Disney paid Disney of the 225 million. Disney paid Disney $200 million. It's not money laundering because it's legal. Yep. But that's what happened. And the reason it sucks and the reason it's terrible is because we have to be able to know that. They have to tell everybody that information. They have to say how much they've spent. They have to say how much things cost. They don't have to send very specific details about salaries.
Yep. But
that information tends to come out because you kind of can see what happens, right?
Yeah.
And people talk about it. It is psychotic how Alakwa Crocs, what's this? Tatiana Maslany makes far less money than Alakwa Crocs' rumored Echo salary. Oh, okay. Oh, that's equally disappointing for other reasons, but like, that's how it works. It didn't used to work that way.
Very low. I think their budget was like 40-50 million for Echo.
Echo budget.
I have a top of Marvel Echo. Yeah.
40 mil.
Yeah, 40 mil.
For how many episodes was that?
And don't get me wrong, it kind of looked it, but
5 episodes. Echo had 40 million for 5 episodes. The entirety of Daredevil Netflix was about 50 million for 13. Because Netflix had to make the shit, and Disney had to line their own pockets.
Yeah.
Wait, did you say something happened at Disney, Baka? Disney says man can't sue over his wife's death because he agreed to Disney Plus terms of service. Jeffrey, filed a wrongful death lawsuit after his wife died after consuming food containing allergens at a restaurant. Dismissed and sent to arbitration because the man had signed up for a Disney Plus account Oh, that's getting thrown out. The filing also accepted the same terms when he used the Walt Disney. Fun fact. I know this personally from experience. Those arbitration clauses and stuff, they tend to hold up because people tend to not fight them. That's the reason why. I can't imagine First of all, there's absolutely no, there's almost no situation in which I would ever, now that I'm reading this, think that, like, you would sign a Disney Plus subscription and it would be like, ah, yes, but if something happens to you at our parks, even then those things don't hold up.
Yeah.
Like, they never hold up. Like, the waivers that you sign, like, those only matter if, like, some freak accident happens. Not if, like, drunk Steve fucking, like doesn't buckle you into the ride. Like, it's not complete enmity, but, I don't know. No, well, Disney has no responsibility for that. Disney's not going to pay a goddamn cent for that. And they shouldn't. Legally, they have no responsibility for that. The restaurant that operates inside Disney World is its own company. That company has responsibility. Maybe the chef. That's not how any of that works, Baka. Owned by Disney does not matter. That's why that's why you can't go after my wife. Like if I do something wrong.
So
like,
she had a dairy and a nut allergy. Is that legit?
I mean, she died having a severe acute allergic reaction to food served at a restaurant owned by Disney. Doesn't matter if it's owned by Disney. Yes, they told the staff. Yeah, and the staff fucked up. Or they don't know what happened. Could have been an accident. Could have been her husband could have poisoned her. They don't know. But Disney's not paying a goddamn cent for that. That business, 100%, when it opened at Disney, and Disney's like decided that business, as we were saying before, is its own fucking company that pays Disney rent in order to be there. Doesn't matter that the CEO of that company is the same as the fucking manager of something else at Disney. Totally different entities, I promise you. Disney ain't gonna pay a cent. Or they wouldn't have to in court. The suit, which names the restaurant and Disney Parks and Resorts as defendant, seeks $500,000 in damages. Disney will get out. They will in market cap. They don't have any market cap to give up. Who fucking cares? Now, say the reason they're going to lose in market cap is not because this fucking happened. It's because they said you can't sue over the Disney Plus terms of services. They're like, what? Shut up. That's not true. Hold on. D Plus cancel wave coming soon? Nah, they're not worried about that. Yeah. just in case anyone is interested in stock market stuff, if Disney goes under $80 in the next 6 months, buy it. Buy. If Disney goes under 80. And if it keeps going down, keep buying more. My last pickup of Disney was, where was it? Right here. October of last year, right after I left my last full time. So it was like right here, like 80 something. And I think it was like 116, somewhere around here, and I was like, shoo. And I'll be picking it up again because Disney has been doing nothing but horrible, dumb shit. What's their market cap? Yeah, 1.61 billion. They got a lot of fucking problems coming up. They're not going anywhere though. Like, betting against Disney is like betting against Elon Musk. Elon Musk has enough money that he can fail more in his life from now until he dies than any human being could fail at like Monopoly Go. like Elon Musk can fail for decades at anything he tries to do, and it'll only ever take like one medium success. Look at Cybertruck. Cybertrucks were being, like, everyone said they were $75,000, so people bought in at $75,000, and then they're like, oh, by the way, now everything costs $110,000, and we're not going to refund you the $75,000 until the trucks come out. There are people who've paid like $200,000 for a Cybertruck and still don't have one. And they suck. Like, that's why every time I see a Cybertruck on the road, I'm like, yes. Yes, that person has too much money. Teslas used to be really good cars. Right around now that they're like $33,000, they're roughly the same price as a Kia Sorento. Like, I'm like, nah, I'm good, man. Once I'm seeing teenagers driving Teslas, I'm like, oh, these aren't real. Get a real car. Get a fucking Mercedes. Get an Audi. What's wrong with you? Driving a Tesla, fucking terrible. Ugh. All right. What else we got? We got some Bo DeMeo drama. Goofy, you want this?
Energy for that conversation right now.
All right. What else do we got? We got... Let's see. X-Men in 97 will have Grant Morrison suits. What If Season 4, final season. Moon Knight, Shang-Chi, Monica, Sam Wilson, and Red Guardian in Power Ranger mechs against Gamma Monsters. I'm in.
Oh, okay. All right.
Eyes of Wakanda will have 4 total episodes.
It's like a comic book issue. Comic book series.
The series will take place during different time periods. New clip showed a new character named Noni fighting off invaders on a ship. War dogs are sanctioned to protect the secrets of Wakanda. Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Coleman Domingo will voice Norman Osborn. Oh, at least he's getting work. Peter and Norman's relationship is like a what-if scenario of Peter and Tony from the MCU. The main difference is Peter learning from Norman, who uses more questionable methods. Will feature a future Foundation suit, Iron Man, Doctor Strange, and Daredevil. Okay. Marvel Zombies, TVMA, 4 episodes. I love 4 episodes. All of their shit should be 4 fucking episodes. Make them hour-long miniseries episodes, call it a fucking day. Not 36 minutes long with 28-minute trailers. Wenwu, Shang-Chi. Okay, so this is the zombie stuff. And then there was some information about Daredevil. And apparently it is rated TVMA. The new Daredevil show. We're getting confirmation that it is incredibly violent.
Like it.
And it should be.
Yeah.
It's time to understand. I don't know if anyone else watches anime. But there's a YouTube series. It's about 15 years old now. It's called Dragon Ball Z Abridged. A bunch of guys got together and kind of took bits and pieces of Dragon Ball over time and retold the story, but a little bit funnier, a little bit more, I would say, Americanized in terms of like how characters acted. And it stands to this day as like the best telling of Dragon Ball. Like if I ever want someone to watch Dragon Ball Z, I just go, oh, just watch the abridged. It's like 52 episodes. Each one is like 7 minutes long. And it's fucking phenomenal. Watching Goofy fade as the stream goes on is like watching my grandpa talk about the war, all excited then silent. It is true. Yep. I have to kind of like splash water on Goofy sometimes.
Basically, that's how it works.
Yeah. It's Goofy's got 96 kids, man.
I do.
You know, when he goes to the bathroom, he has to step over children. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. At this point, I lock the door. I don't have a choice. Girls still join me in there. All of them.
What are you looking forward to? Oh God, Marvel's not developing a sequel to Eternals. Surprise. What are you looking forward to?
Are you kidding me?
How?
So a movie about robots fighting other robots that then were essentially kidnapped by the person who created those robots. And we're not getting a sequel to that movie. Son of a. All right. I'm done. What am I looking forward to? Not seeing Eternals. Looking forward to not seeing Eternals again. Eternals 2 launder more money. Goofy does streams because it's a way to get some peace and quiet. It's about the quietest time of
That's
my
actually
day,
kind of true.
Yeah.
After we end, so you know what? I'm gonna kind of peel the thing back. After we end our stream, we try to go for about 2 to 3 hours. Like that's generally the general way. If something exciting is happening, if we have a lot to talk about, it'll probably be 3 hours. Generally, though, there's not much going on. Nothing's exciting in anything that we love. And we love to kind of poke fun, but like it's a kind of exhausting to be shitty all the time.
Really is.
So like I could sit here and shit on and like shit in my hand and then draw a picture of Kathleen Kennedy in the shit in my hand and say, this woman is responsible for the death of Star Wars. I could do that. But eventually, at the end of the day, all I have is shit in my hand. Right? Like, I gotta... So I just can't... So it's hard to keep that energy up. And honestly, there's so many people that do that, and I'm like, yeah, I'm old. I'm old now, man. I don't...
That's fair.
If it's funny, if I could make a joke about it, if I could say, oh, my favorite part of The Acolyte is how the main character always got knocked out in order to go to a new location. They couldn't figure it out, so they're like, hit her in the back of the head. Like, we can make fun of it, And that's at least an attempt of humor to say something bad. But, like,
Yeah.
I can't... Like, the Bo DeMeo thing, right?
Yeah.
We were talking about it before the stream. It, like, okay, either Bo DeMeo... Like, this is the thing that is, like... Sent nude photos of himself in sexually suggestive hero poses to several young male staffers. Timeout. When you say young male staffer, you specifically did not say underage male staffer, because you can't say that, because you can't have underage people working at a company. So if you're saying Bo DeMeo sent his dick to a bunch of 18 to 20-year-olds, that's inappropriate behavior, but it's not fucking, like, the same... When you say young male staffers, you're trying to elicit a response. That is not a correct response to try to elicit. They could have just said interns, and I'd be like, gross, don't do that.
Yeah.
DMs don't know if it's okay to post here. Nah, I don't give a shit. Do whatever you want. Yeah. Saying that he could be used as inspiration. He also allegedly groped as, an assistant multiple times and emotionally, physically abused. So this is all true. He is 100% emotionally and most likely physically abusive to staff. That has been what everybody has said from, like, when he was on when he was working with Netflix, when he was working on, I don't know, the early Blade drafts. Everybody's been like, this guy's a fucking total piece of shit. Okay, guy's a piece of shit. As a result of that guy being a piece of shit, we got X-Men 97. Now, if you want to say he's doing, like, grimy ass illegal shit, come correct. I believe half of this, and I still don't care about the half I believe. I don't believe he was doing anything. Like, do I believe he sent pictures of himself nude? Yeah, he's a gay man. That's how we do. Like, what do you...
I'm not sure that makes it okay, but okay.
No, it doesn't make it okay. But it doesn't matter if it makes it okay. It still happens. Like, I think the work experience on that is the problem. But also, I don't know. I don't know if I believe he might have been emotionally and physically abusive to people. I don't know that he allegedly groped an assistant multiple times. The question is, did they ask for them? It's a great question. Yeah, if I'm your boss and I'm sending, yo, this is how I want you to draw this character, and it's just a picture of my fat fucking tits, then all right, you could no, just get Danny DeVito for that.
Danny DeVito. All right. I can vibe with that. All right.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like Bo's talking an awful lot about, like, he's talking like this ain't true. Like, he's saying shit like this ain't right. And I'm like, man, if this is true though, shut the fuck up, right? Like,
yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
Like, listen, if I do something wrong, and I know I did something wrong, and someone's like, you gotta go, and I'm like, yo, I was bartending a few years back, because I had a night gig bartending, and one of the guests, it was end of the night, last shift, I was closing. I had already closed everything down. We were closed. They were the only tab up. And, like, everything was closed, and they're like, hey, shots. So I gave them 3 shots, because there are 3 people there. And there was 2 dudes and a girl. And the girl's like, oh, I'm done. I'm good. They're like, you do the shot. And I was like, well, I already poured it and paid for it. I'm not going to pour it. Like, all right, fine. So, and again, what was it a shot of? It was just fucking tequila. Like, who gives a shit? So I was like, okay, cool. Boom. Shot done. Right? Shot done. And then, like, okay. And then, cool, thanks. Closed them out. Went to the back. We were done. Everything was done. Brought the drawer to the back. This was a corporate place. Not like a hole in the wall bar, which I should have worked at, but I was lazy. So I just took the closest corporate place.
Okay.
2 days later, I get a phone call and they're like, you're not allowed to work today. I'm like, oh, okay. Click. Hung up. Like, I was like, okay. They call me back. They're like, did you hang up? I'm like, yeah, you said I'm not allowed to come into work today. So I assumed we were done talking, right? Like, cool, I just won't come into work tonight. It was like a fucking Thursday night or something.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, we have you on camera drinking on the shift. And I was like, oh, that shot with the 2 regulars? They're like, oh, so you admit it? I'm like, of course I admit it. Those guys spend like, I don't know, like $400 a week at our bar. Of course I'm going to do a shot when they ask for it at the end of the shift. Like, when I'm done and all my work was done. And there was nobody else but me, the closer. Like, that, of course I am. Like, so we're a fucking bar. In the middle of Jersey City, New Jersey, where the rest of the bars are. Like, of course I'm going to do a shot. And they're like, well, it's against policy. I'm like,
okay.
Yeah, I'm like, it's against policy. I'm like, yeah, I know. They're like, so you know and you still did it? I'm like, of course, I don't do anything your policies say. Your policies suck. And they're like, well, you can't work until this is reviewed. I'm like, okay. Call me when it's good. Like, call me when you're ready to talk. So then, like, one day I'm just in the location in Jersey City where that place was, and I was just walking by, and someone came outside and were like, Tony, you were fired. And I was like, oh, cool. So I walked in, and I walked to the back, and I was like, do I have any tips? And they're like, oh, we have to talk. I'm like, we don't have to talk. Just give me whatever the tip out was for like the last couple of days, because they would collect tip outs from the waiters and give them to us later. I'm like, give me my tip outs and fucking call it. And they're like, well, you have some documents to sign. I'm like, I'm not signing any fucking documents. What's wrong with you? I'm a bartender. Guys, I soloed a 40-person bar during the World Cup. I don't need you. Like, what do you... Like, I'm cool, guys. You guys decided to let me go because I did a shot at 11:07 with the highest paying...
What time does the bar close? Was it 11?
Bar closed... Kitchen closed at 10:30. Bar closed at 11. Yeah. Gotcha. I was still on the clock. Like, I'm not arguing that what I did was against the rules. I'm arguing that the rules are stupid and I deserve special treatment. Or that I don't care. And it was mind-blowing because, like, immediately, like, apparently, because I still had friends on the chat and everything. We were still at, we had our voice chat and our group chat and shit. And, like, 2 people got fucking, they didn't card somebody. They didn't card the, like, they, at bars, they send in people to order a drink to test the bartenders. And it's a 1-strike fail rate, which I always carded. Because all you have to do is ask if they have their ID. So I don't have to check your ID. Because they don't care if I check your ID. The people that ask for it just say, did you ask for the ID? When I found that out, I just go, oh, you have your ID, right? And they go, yeah. And I go, okay. And sometimes I've said that question. I was like, hey, you have your ID, right? And they're like, you got it. Get your manager. Here's the signature. I was like, cool. Do you still want your beer? They're like, no, I'm underage. I'm like, oh. I thought you were just pretending to be underage. Why would they send actual underage people here?
Underage people, yeah.
Like, that's stupid.
Seems
You're
really
stupid.
dumb.
Like, that's really dumb.
Yeah.
Like, why would they do that? So I just kept, even like people I've seen 100 times, I'm like, oh, hey, you have your ID, right? Yeah, cool. I don't care if you show it to me. I don't care what it says. I don't have time to read. I'm fucking high. Leave me alone. Yeah. So they had fired, like, 2 bartenders had to be fired. So, like, their bartender count was, like, 3 people. 1 could only work mornings. And 1 was in school. So they had a left schedule. So, like, they really only had 1 person And none of them were good. Like, they were like kids, you know, like 20-somethings. They're doing their best, and I'm fucking 30, so like, I've been bartending forever. I've known how to bartend forever. Just a fucking funny end up like story of just like, yeah, you took that shot that one time. You gotta go. And I'm like, yeah, or, you know, you could realize that this doesn't hurt me. There's plenty of bars, and at no point in time am I ever going to say these words. Like, oh yeah. And even then, I've bartended in places in fucking Hoboken where like drinking on the job was a goddamn requirement sometimes. So it's just, when we talk about things like this, I'm like, there are the rules. Hold on. I told a joke once. My job said it was a threat. They told me to come to the office, fired me. Cool, no problem. They're like, one more thing. Door opened and someone tried to tackle me. I elbowed the dude in the face and punched another guy before I found out they were cops. Not a good day for me. Oh. Bro. Ask me to leave? No fucking problem. Put your hand on me? Show me the badge first. Show me the badge.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't get in trouble for assaulting a police officer if they're not fucking a police officer. If they're not in uniform? Yeah. You can get in trouble for assault. It's not the extra penalty of assaulting a police officer. Unless, like, crazy shit. They didn't get arrested, but they were not happy. Don't touch me. Dude, someone tries to tackle me? I'm a big man. You gotta come heavy. Like, yeah, you gotta. I'm a big dude, man. I'm big and big. I'm spatial. Yeah, leading. Leaning at the tackle? Nah, man. I've never had to leave a place like that though, in my experience.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. All right, Goof. Finishing thoughts before. Oh, that was what I was saying. At the end of our stream, we end up talking for like an hour and a half anyway.
Yeah, we do. Usually. Yeah.
And it's all better. It's infinitely better. It's everything we talk about privately is infinitely better than what we talk about with you guys.
Yeah, easily. Like, without question.
It's going to be available on our Patreon. The post-stream bullshit chat.
The random nonsense. That's
just a bonus hour and a half of us just talking about YouTube metrics and thumbnails. And comparing video views and giving each other like pieces of like, oh, maybe you should try this. Goofy, how many YouTube channels you got right now? I'm only at 3.
Active YouTube channels.
4. Active, yeah.
3 or 4.
So, in case you guys don't know, that means we got like 15 each. Always multiply it by like 4 or 5. You know how easy it is to make a YouTube channel? Dude.
That's why I had to specify. I was like, active?
Dude, there's this one company that for like $10 a month, they will just bombard YouTube and TikTok with AI bullshit based on a prompt. And I was I gotta try this. So I did. I haven't started it, but I have the stuff ready for it. And I'm like, I'm gonna make a new TikTok, and it's just gonna be called Dem Titties. Like, and it's just gonna be random fucking like AI generated fucking like bikini shits and Reddit stories of sexy encounters.
That's funny, right?
I just want to see what happens, man. If it works, you don't fucking need thumbnails for it. It's all TikTok and shit.
No, he suggested I hate making thumbnails, and you know.
Oh, it's Goofy's favorite thing.
That's my thing right there. That's my jam.
Yeah. I don't hate making thumbnails. I hate how I feel when I make thumbnails. I'm never more down on myself then after I make a thumbnail and I'm like, this looks great, and I show it to somebody and they're like, oh, who made that? A child? And I was like, yeah, a dumb child. Oh, and then before we go, I'm just going to show another podcast screen that I'm working on. Obviously, I have a different thing here. But this is for if we're ever going to have a third person. And I have some other stuff going on too, but that's it. Thank you all for hanging out. Me and Goofy have to discuss incredibly sexy things. Yeah. Be safe, everybody. Next week, I can't guarantee that we'll be on.
Actually, next week.
I
won't be. Yeah, I won't be.
I can't guarantee that we'll be on, and I also can't guarantee that I'll be on. That's but fair. I can guarantee that something will be on.
Yeah.
Because I might just go live. I might just go live.
Yeah.
And put, like, a playlist of Goofy's videos on Keeping It Comic.
I was thinking one of these days I might just go live and have you guys watch me edit a video while we bullcrap.
I want to do that nothing. Too. I want to go live.
Like, huh?
I want to go live on like a Wednesday or a Thursday and just talk about something that's interesting on that day, or like a TV show that's not relevant.
Yeah.
The problem is, for me, it's similar with you, but not the same. Yeah. For me, when Wednesday, as opposed to when I remember Wednesday and Thursdays are different days.
Yeah.
When I get home.
Not this week.
No, this week they were one day. When I get home, I could be in my head all day. Like, dude, there have been days I've been like, oh, I want to go live. I want to talk about this. I want to do this on my channel. I want to make this video. Then I get home and I'm like, yo, my bed looking fresh. I'm hungry. Yeah. I bought ice cream. I got cookie dough ice cream with Oreo chunks. I'm good, man. I'm not going live. Like, I don't have that in me. I don't. If I could go live during work, if I had like an amount of time where I could just like, answer an email, I would do that. And even if I was like, hold up, boop, and then a sign would come up, be like, Tony is in a meeting at his real job. Like, please stare at, and then it'll just be like whatever titty streamer's on, like I did on my main channel for a while. Then I would do that. But I don't know. So I want to. We both want to. But it's so hard.
It's probably easier for me because literally it would just be, because usually I'm up Wednesday night and Thursday night. I am up until like 12 editing videos. Because
do you want to?
I don't do anything during the day.
No, I mean like next Wednesday, or I'm not putting it on you, but like next Wednesday, would you like
next week?
It doesn't matter if anyone shows up, like except Jay. Yeah. Jay has to be here. He's required. We won him. We won him in a contest. Yeah. Like,
yeah, specifically Jay has to be here. But yeah, I mean, I don't mind doing it because, like I said, it's fairly easy for me because I usually put on One Tree Hill on my tablet while I edit. So talking to somebody else about it wouldn't be, while I'm doing this, wouldn't it be terrible? But at the same time, though, I'm listening to the video and then also putting in the clips and moves and all that. So I'm probably not going to be as attentive to a chat. So there's a catch-22 to that.
Yeah, but the other side is if someone in chat shows up and makes a suggestion and it's dope, you could be like, yo, that's dope. And if they make a dumb suggestion, you can be like, shut the fuck up.
Probably wouldn't want to do that, but I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
So I'm leaving this up on the stream. So this is the end point. Yellow Gatorade is best for when you're thirsty. Orange is best for hangovers. Dark blue is best for sports. Light blue is best for when you want a cold drink. Red is best for lunch. Not going to explain the science behind this. And it's true.
Thank you. the words.
Have a good
the
night,
wisdom that
everybody.
we needed. Bye.